Hiring virtual assistants or VAs has been a game changer for my coaching business, but not without making expensive mistakes in the beginning because I didn't really understand online marketing at all. Well, what you learn from this video is how to utilize VA services to the fullest and knowing what VA service you need for the phase of business you're in. And you'll also learn how to utilize them to build a thriving coaching business. My name's Lisa Mackey, and I've been a coachpreneur for over 20 years. And when I transitioned to the online digital space, I really felt like I went back and started from square one. So, what you learn from this channel is not only the result of years of experience of being a coachpreneur, but what I've learned in the online space, in that transition, how I navigated, and how it helped me build a thriving coaching business. So if you're not subscribed yet to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of every video I post. So before I share with you how you'll effectively utilize VA services and what VA service you need for the specific phase of business you're in, let me share with you first the benefits of having a VA. You may know this already, but this is kind of going to refresh you, or maybe you're still figuring out whether you really need a VA or not. And in the event that you'll need them, what or how will it really benefit your coaching business? Well, one of the greatest benefits is you have a team. So even if you have one person, I still call it a team, because that's you and the other person. So you have a team without having the expense of hiring employees. You're not paying for any benefits for them. And since most of these virtual assistant services come from overseas, you're even going to pay less than how much you'll be paying if you'll outsource the work here in America or other similar currency. And so it's really a very cost efficient way of having a team helping you grow a thriving coaching business. Another benefit is because you're now outsourcing work and you're now delegating work to your VA, you'll be able to focus more on the business aspect or the business side of your coaching business. When I say the business aspect, it's growing your business, it's networking, engaging with others. And even if you can eventually get a VA to help you generate leads for your business, and I'll get back to that later, you're still the one who's going to build relationships. You're still the one who's going to build those connections. And so having VAs will free you from all those other nitty-gritties of your job, like content creation, or probably just messing with your website or editing your videos, which I used to do a lot. Since somebody else is doing it for you, then you'll be able to focus on building and growing your business, which is really what you're supposed to do. Another benefit is you're really going to have, well, not in the beginning because everything is a process, but eventually you'll really be able to achieve that greater work-life balance because it really takes away from you a lot of stress that comes with just figuring out how to do things like, oh my gosh, how do I even start my email marketing? Because somebody else is doing the work for you. So it will free you of more time that you can use for your personal life, which really gives you a greater work-life balance. But again, this is going to happen eventually, not when you're starting. And then it also helps you get more organized. And I'll give you an example. I have someone posting my social media content, designing my posters, designing my carousels on Instagram. I have somebody doing that and somebody posting it for me. But the content still comes from me because I'm very particular about my content. And so because it comes from me, I have to really be timely and organized because otherwise that person or my VA wouldn't have anything to do if I don't finish my work. So it kind of keeps everything in perspective. Without that, I'll probably be all over the place because of other tasks that I have and other responsibilities I have. So having a VA or having VAs for me really keeps things more organized. in a lot of ways, my mind, my work, and it definitely creates something more consistent for my business as well. And then another benefit is you're able to use other people for skills that you don't have. So you're not trying hard to do something that you're not good at. So I like what one of my clients told me, I'm really bad with anything creative. And so I'm just going to hire somebody to do this for me. Instead of you trying to figure out how to use Canva or how to, as I've said, edit videos, and you don't even know how to do it, you might as well let somebody else do it for you. Okay. So now that I've given you the rundown of the benefits, we can now focus on the VA. So what I'm going to share with you now are the different phases of your coaching business and the specific VA service you need for each phase. Now, one thing I wanted to remember is that these phases are also in chronological order, meaning you're going to do the phase one first before you proceed to phase two, phase three, and phase four. And this is where many coaches make the mistake in. They hire VAs thinking that they should be doing something instead of doing first what is the prerequisite prior to that. I'll give you an example. I've had clients who hired VAs to do their website. Okay, and I'll explain to you later that that's not even the job of a VA to do their website without even having a very clear program design, or maybe hiring a VA to do your social media posting without even having a brand. So, what happens is you're relying on someone to do something for you that's not really going to work for you. And sad to say, many coaches make that mistake and then they blame the VA for not doing her or his job. Well, that's not the job of the VA. The job of the VA is to assist you and help you, but everything is still going to come from you. And so, as a coach myself, I didn't know all that before. And so when I started to understand how online marketing works and the journey that my online audience goes through, I started understanding these different phases. And that's when I started realizing that this is the kind of VA service that's needed for this specific phase and this phase and this phase. So everything I'm teaching you right now, everything I'm sharing with you is basically what I myself had to go through and learn from, and what eventually led to a thriving coaching business. And so these phases, as I've said, they're all connected together. You can hire one VA to do all these things for you for each phase of your journey, but normally, VAs don't really have all those skill sets. And even if you find someone who can do all those for you, the problem is, of course, it's going to be more expensive. But, anyways, let me walk you through each phase and I'll explain to you what VA service you would need for that. And if something is not the job of a VA, I'm also going to tell you. Okay, so there's a difference between just being a successful coach and having a successful coaching business. This is why I always call it coachpreneur. Okay, I can always say I'm a coach, but I'm also an entrepreneur. So you're building a coaching business. Okay, you're not employed by someone as a coach. You have your coaching business. And so as a coachpreneur, our goal should be to grow our business. Our goal is to build a thriving coaching business. This is what I always focus on. And if you haven't seen my videos pertaining to a thriving coaching business, you'll find it in this channel. But I have defined thriving as progressive. It's better than just having a successful business. Progressive, thriving means it's progressing, it's flourishing, it's always fresh. You're always a breath of fresh air. You're relevant, you're adaptable. You flow with with the changes and the time. So that's what a thriving business is about. And so the first phase of your coaching business, and this is online, okay, because this is really where the sales and marketing happens. If you are not familiar or you're not good in navigating the online space where your sales and marketing happens, then it's going to be a failure for your business. So the first phase is the brand identity. Okay, so this is the first phase of your coaching business is when you design your brand identity. So this includes your logo. This includes eventually your website, but not in the beginning. So do not even hire somebody to do your website until you're done with your logo. But one person can do that for you. And this is not the job of a VA. This is not the work of a VA. Some of you may have been approached by VAs offering different services, and you're probably like unsure what service you should get from them. And this is the reason why I'm explaining all these to you. Because many coaches go to VAs asking them to do certain things, and, and they themselves do not understand how it works. And that's the reason why the VAs or they're not successful in utilizing the services of VAs. And so the job of a VA is definitely that does not include the logo on the website, even if they can, because a brand identity is more than just the logo. Even if a VA offers you that it tells you that she can create a logo for you through Canva, that person is not equipped and not skilled to really understand the concept of your business. And so a graphic designer is the one who has the skill to do that, not a VA. Now, if your VA happens to be a graphic designer, well and good. But this is one of the biggest investments you should be making for your business. It's your brand identity because once it's there, it's there. It's like your stamp in the market. You don't make a mistake with brands. I mean, look at the name brands in the industry. They're name brands for a reason. And so your brand identity, that's the very first foundation. That's the very first pillar of your business. So the logo, all that is just the external aspect of your business. And so the internal aspect is what I teach in my coaching programs. It's how to even come up with your brand identity in relation to your purpose, in relation to your uniqueness. Now, once you have all that, and that should come from you, it shouldn't be just coming from the outside. You yourself, as a coach, should understand what it is that you are helping people with. How do you want to be known by others as a coach? So, your brand name, your coaching title, all these things play a major part in your brand identity. So when it comes to the creative aspect, you now have your logo, you now have your tagline if you have a tagline, then you can now start creating the other aspects of your brand, which it will eventually cover your social media platforms, if you're doing a podcast, if you're doing a YouTube. So that will all branch out from your brand identity. But that initial phase of your business, the brand identity, that should be the job. If you're hiring somebody to do it for you, but I believe you don't have the skills in graphic design. If you do have it, then wow, well and good. But most of the time, we coaches, we don't have that skill unless you're a coach for graphic designers, and that's a huge difference. But most of the time, we don't have that skill. So you hire a graphic designer, not a VA. Okay. But eventually the VAs can now come in when you now have that main brand. They can come in and design some posters for you, but you already have your brand. Okay, so the brand in itself should be the graphic designer doing it for you. Okay, now let's go to phase two. Phase two is the offer. So what is your offer? This is your program design. It can be your signature program. It can be your lower ticket offer, which is a digital course or whatever you're offering. But this is now the offer is your program design. So what do you need for a program design? So this is now, again, a combination of creative. So this can still be the job of a graphic designer if you already hired one, or it can already be passed on to a virtual assistant who is more on the creative aspect. So when you're not talking about the creative aspect, this would include designing the materials that you're going to use for your program. So the learning materials, the handouts, if you're doing a digital course or if you're doing a combination of one-on-one coaching plus video courses, then you also design the video. Well, not specifically designing the video, but you're the one recording the video and then somebody now edits your video for you. So the video editing is something that now can be passed on to a more specialized VA who's really good in editing. So the video editing, and eventually I'm going to talk about the podcast editing, those are all VA services, but a more specialized service. So the offer, again, this includes your training materials. This includes videos if you're going to use videos. If you need help setting up your PowerPoint, this can also be the job of a VA. And normally, too, the offer includes a lead magnet. Okay, we're going to go to that later on the fourth phase, but it can include a lead magnet leading to the offer. So that lead magnet that can be easily done by a VA, something that knows how to use Canva, something that can knows how to do the creative aspect of your coaching business. And something that I also want to interject is a VA is not a coach, so they don't understand the coaching business. Now, if you barely understand how the coaching business works in an online environment, then it's really hard to work with a VA who doesn't have any clue about the coaching business. Because VAs are selling their services to you. So they're going to you and telling you that they can do something for you. But if they don't understand coaching, which unless they have all their clients are coaches, and if you don't understand it as well, then that's going to be a disaster. And this is why I'm explaining all these things to you. So once you have your program design, which is your offer, then you're now ready for phase three. Phase three is when you set up your systems. So these are your online marketing systems. And I use a very simple ATS, or attention, trust, and sales. So these systems are actually your online marketing platforms. So social media is best for the attention system. Email marketing is best for the trust system. So this is for the coaching business. And then webinars, discovery call, or anything related to that is the platform you use for your sales system. Again, ATS, attention, trust, and sales. Now, this is where a VA can really help you in setting all these up. So it's not simply a matter of, oh, I'll set up your social media, but it's how you now connect each of these systems so that your audience is not falling out. So this is something I love explaining, and you can watch these in all my other videos. It's almost there all the time just because it's really necessary for us to understand this. So this is what I was sharing with you earlier about when I started discovering my audience journey in the online space. I started understanding how these online marketing systems and strategies even work. And so the first phase of your audience journey with you is when they see you for the first time. Okay, so that's when this is where that attention system is used for. So social media is to make your audience aware of you, and then you establish a recall in their minds. And the trust system, which is the email marketing, is where you start building trust with them. And this is where you bring out greater value than what you're bringing out on social media. And then you have your sales platform, which is your webinar. And that's where you do your sales pitch. That's where you sell your coaching program. So this is how it works. And this is the reason why you should be able to connect each system with the other. Because when somebody sees you on social media, so let's just say you have a VA posting your social media content and even creating your social media content for you. So if somebody sees your social media content, and then also if you don't understand that the first phase of your audience journey with you is just for the awareness phase, then you're trying to sell on social media and you're asking your VA to create for you content that sells your coaching program. It's not going to work. I'm sorry, coach, it's not going to work because social media is meant for awareness. It's really social media is for lead generation. Social media is for cold prospects. Even if people there know you already, it's new people are always coming in. So that is the platform you use to increase their awareness. It's kind of like an ad on TV. Most of the ads you see, some of the ads you see are not even selling anything. It's just really for awareness purposes. And so it's creating awareness. So if I see your post, or let's just say you created the right post, okay, you're not selling to me. Because if you're selling to me and I don't know you, why will I sign up for your program? Okay, why will I sign up for your webinar? I don't know you. Okay. And so, but if you do it right, Okay, let's just say that VA created, or you asked your VA to create something for you that creates awareness. Okay, and I see it, and you caught my attention. But then there's nothing to go to after that. You lose me. And this is why it has to be connected. So what connects them is the call to action. Okay. Call to action can be, I love using Instagram. That's why on Instagram, you'll always see my post saying, click the link in my bio, or for more information, click the link in my bio. But I just don't do that. I just don't drop that without content that makes them aware and gets their attention before I drop something. Like, oh, I want to impart more to you. So why don't you join me in my LMC Insider community? So that's my email marketing actually. So head to link in my bio for access. So what happens is when they go to my bio on Instagram and they click the link, they now go to my next system, which is my email marketing. So that is connected. It captures their email address, and now they're in my email list, and then I send them emails every Wednesday. So if you want us also be a part of that LMC Insider community where I just pour in and pour out more value, greater value, and even combining my Christian faith into the content that I release, then I'd love to have you in my LMC Insider community. You can check the link later in the video description. And so when they're finally in my email list, then that's where I start promoting the next level, whether it's a one-on-one call with me, free call with me, discovery call, or I'm talking about an upcoming webinar. That's where I talk about it. So when you get a VA to help you set up your systems, you need to understand first how these systems are connected together and what you're going to use. Of course, my suggestion is social media, and then email marketing, and then webinar or discovery call. So now the VA comes in and set up the social media platform that you're going to use. So let's just say you're going to use Facebook. And so VA now can help create your Facebook cover or your banner, and then can also help you with other setups on, specifically if you're using your Facebook business page. Now, this is really easy and you don't really need a VA to do it for you, but if you still want to use a VA because you just really don't know how to use it, this is where they come in. And then the email marketing system, a VA can set it up for you, but you still have to be the one to pay for it. If you're using MailChimp, I love using MailChimp. I'm not advertising for them, but it's just that I've been using them for the longest time. You have, what's the other one? Flowdesk, ConvertKit. So you're still the one who's gonna sign up and pay. And then the VA can now, if you give access to the VA, they can now set it up for you. Now, setting it up means that it's not simply a matter of creating the email. Okay, the email marketing in itself, sending emails every week or twice a month, you can also get a VA to do that for you, but that's not the setup. A setup means that you now create a landing page which becomes the lead magnet. So a lead magnet is where you give something for free in exchange for their email. Okay, so a lead magnet, as I talked about this earlier. So a lead magnet, just in case you're not familiar with lead magnets, but I'm kind of assuming you already know, but just in case you don't, a lead magnet is a PDF document or a video you already did and you have a link to it. But even if there's no lead magnet, okay, let's just say you're not giving out anything for free, but you just want them to sign up to your email list. That's also fine. It's just that it's not good to always say, "Hey, sign up to my email. Hey, please sign up to my email." It's not a good way, but this is not the video for that. Um, and so what a VA does is the VA now creates the landing page on your email marketing, whatever you're going to use, and create a link there that link can be now shared on your social media platform so that whoever sees whatever you're posting can now go to that link, and in that, when the person clicks the link, goes to your landing page, the landing page captures the email address. So all these can be done by a VA. So again, I just want to make a distinction because I've talked to many coaches who are not really very familiar with when they say email marketing, they just think that the VA will just do the emailing their subscribers or their clients. They don't really know anything about the email. And this is why I'm explaining all these. There's a difference between setting up your email marketing system and letting the VA do your email marketing on a regular basis. One VA can do both for you, but it still falls on different phases. So we're just talking about setting up the systems. Now from there, you now set up your so that's the trust system. You now have your social media for attention, then you have the email marketing for trust, and now you have your webinar or your discovery call. So that's kind of pretty. The discovery call is pretty easy to do. You know, you can just use a calendar to book your clients, and most coaches know how to do that. Webinars are pretty easy to use. But a VA can also help you, and specifically when you're already doing your webinars and you want an assistant with you to help you with questions of people attending your webinar and so on and so forth. So a VA can come and be of assistance to you in that phase. Now, let's go to the last phase, which is the phase four. So this phase four is now your marketing and promotions. Okay. So what normally happens is coaches hire VAs for phase four when they haven't even established anything from phase one, or maybe they already have their logo and their brand, but they don't really have the phase three in place. Okay, so the phase three is very crucial for your phase four to even start working or to be effective. So phase four is the marketing and promotions. So this is where the lead generation comes in. So this is where you can hire your virtual assistant or your VA to help you with lead generation. Now, let me share something about lead generation though, because I keep getting, and I did this huge mistake when I asked my VA or one of my VAs to just DM DM people like coaches on Instagram, just drop a message to attend my webinar. And back then, I didn't really know what I was doing. And so, this is why I'm sharing all these with you, because it was a waste of time and a waste of money. And at the same time, it just irritated many people. And so, anyways, so this is what's happening. We hire VAs and we tell them to just DM or direct message coaches promoting our services. And these people didn't know me. These people didn't know me. And so why will they attend a webinar? And sometimes it's really annoying. Like I remember when one coach told me, what makes you think that I don't know any of these? So it's kind of like what do you call that, demeaning for somebody to try to invite you to something that you already know about or maybe even know more about. But I wasn't very sensitive to that. I was just like, okay, lead generation, for as many people as who can attend my webinars, I'll be happy with that. So that was the problem. And I was able to correct that. And that's the reason why I now have a thriving coaching business. So the lead generation this is really more for engagement. Okay. It's really more for engagement. You can hire a VA to help engage with your audience, like somebody commenting on what I found effective before is when my VA started going to other posts on Instagram just to encourage them. Okay, just to encourage them. I wouldn't advise, because this is also what I don't like when people start befriending me on Instagram, okay, because I'm on Instagram. And it's just so frustrating, and it's almost like now I don't even want to engage with anyone, just because every time somebody engages with me and I kind of start liking the person, all of a sudden the person will give me a sales pitch. And some people do it immediately, some people take like a week. I talked to someone who took a month before that person presented his offer to me. So I don't like that. I don't like that. So why would I do that? So what you do is let them find you. Let them find you. So that's now the job of a VA. Your VA now can go to other posts and engage. Engage with a person, and then the other people there who are responding can see the response of your VA, and because of that they'll be able to check you out. So your VA is now acting like you. So it's really not easy finding that kind of a VA who's representing you and acting like you, but you can find one. And so my VA was acting on my behalf. And so people thought that was me. And they started checking out my Instagram profile. So that's how you can do the lead generation. Or you can just let your VA engage and hey, if you need help, we can help you with this one, but don't sell anything. That is not the place to sell. The place to sell is in your webinars and in your discovery calls. So I'm just making it clear when it comes to lead generation for the coaching business, selling outrightly is not going to work. Or just like trapping them into attending your webinars. You invite them to the webinar when they're already in your email marketing. There's just phases to it. There's just phases to it. And then the marketing and promotions can also include video editing for like YouTube. So this is now part of my promotions for people to be more aware of what I do, what my business is. And so a VA can help you in video editing, podcast editing. That's where the VA comes in for the marketing and promotions. Again, do not even start with a podcast until you have established your systems, because otherwise, where will the people go? Unless you just want to do a podcast, it's not for your business. But why waste your time on podcasts if you're not building your coaching business, right? So it's all about building the business, because we can get carried away. And I talked about this in another video where the good things actually become a distraction for us. Like podcast is good. They're all good. They're all marketing tools. But if we're not using them effectively for marketing, it's kind of like we're just doing our hobbies. It's not even a business. And then you complain why your coaching business is not growing. Okay. And then you can also use a VA for this last phase, marketing and promotions, for appointment setting, for your discovery call. Okay. And so these are the ways that you can utilize a VA more effectively. And I have more to share with you. It's just that I'm always limited in time, because I don't want to go like beyond an hour when I'm doing a YouTube video. But I'd love to answer your questions if you have any questions about VAs or what I explained to you, and if you need help finding the right VA, and even finding somebody, a graphic designer. I have it all. I can hook you up with the right people. I have my own team who assists my clients. And I also have a, network of people in my Facebook group that can help you out, whatever your requirements may be in relation to VA services, graphic design. And of course, for your coaching needs, I am a coach for coaches. And when it comes to coaching, I do coaching on both sides of the business, because I'm a Christian coachpreneur. When I coach my clients, whether it's in the mentoring category already or it's in the one-on-one coaching, I always combine the two. Okay, I always make sure that I also coach them and mentor them in the spiritual aspect to strengthen them, solidify them, and at the same time, not to lose sight of the purpose that God has given us, and at the same time, coach them in the business aspect, in making sure that they're building a thriving coaching business. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, or if you need help with finding VAs or graphic designers, and I'll definitely hook you up. I'll get back to you, give you more information. If you comment, then we can connect on a more private platform, so you don't have to leave your emails here exposed to the public. We can do that. And again, if you're not subscribed yet to this channel, please just hit the subscribe button and the bell. If this video resonated with you, then I'll have more videos to come. And I'd love to have you in my LMC Insider community, and go check out my other videos that will be very helpful in growing a thriving coaching business. I'm just thinking of what else I forgot. And we can get connected on Instagram. You can find me there and look for Coach Lisa Mackey. And if you're a Christian woman entrepreneur, I have a Facebook group as well. Growing, thriving Facebook group community that's now, I think, over 8,000 members. So just look for Christian Women Entrepreneurs Community on Facebook, and just join, and maybe you can leave a message and say that you found me on YouTube, so I can recognize you and say hi to you. A lot of things are coming up, so stay tuned to this channel. I'm very, very excited for 2024. And so a lot of the things that are going to happen in 2024, you'll hear more about it in this channel. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the next one.